Today we're making a Greek soup called Avgolemono, which is a chicken lemon soup. We will be using orzo on this dish. You can use any types of pasta or even rice, but I like using orzo on this because it's nice and soft. And quick way of making it is we're gonna be using rotisserie chicken instead of boiling a fresh chicken, from scratch. So this is one quick way of making a quick meal on a weekday when you're tired. Avgolemono, a Greek lemony chicken soup. So for today's dish, we're gonna make something quick and simple on a weekday when you get home from work and you're tired. So today we're gonna be making a Greek chicken soup called Avgolemono. Avgolemono is based on chicken, and mostly the flavor revolves around lemons, and it's thickened by eggs. So this is gonna be my own version. Most versions that you see on YouTube now uses a whole egg. Mine only uses just the egg yolk, because if you use the whites of the egg, when you stir it in with the soup, it's gonna look like an egg drop soup. You're gonna have the little thin strands that you get with it. It's up to you, you don't have to follow it like this. If you wanna just toss in the whole egg, you can do that as well. But this is my version. It's just gonna be egg yolk. And since, me, I like the flavor strong, I'm gonna be using more than the usual lemon juice. So here's our ingredients for our recipe. We are gonna need about 12 cups of chicken broth. So that's gonna be 6 cups per container right there. We're gonna need half chicken breast. Instead of, you can use a whole one, but for me, I think it's quicker. And since we're in a hurry on a weekday, you want something quick. So just get a rotisserie chicken, use half of that chicken breast, or you can use more if you want. It's up to you. So just gonna be half a chicken breast. We're gonna need 1 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of orzo. If you don't know what orzo is a pasta. It looks like rice, but it's actually a pasta. We are gonna need 8 egg yolks. So we're gonna separate the whites from the yolk later. Half a cup of lemon juice. I'm gonna go with 3/4 since I want it strong. But if I were you, start off with a half a cup of lemon juice first, because it might be too strong for you. We're gonna need 1 tablespoon of fresh dill. This is optional, but I wanna add in a tablespoon of oregano. I like the flavor of oregano, especially when we're cooking with poultry. We're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, just to slightly thicken our soup. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bring our chicken broth to boil. Now our broth is boiling, we're gonna add in our shredded rotisserie chicken. Again, I only use half a breast here. You can add in as much as you want. But the thing is, we're gonna be adding orzo, so I don't wanna overkill this soup by adding too much protein. But you can do anything you want. Also, if you're using fresh chicken, you might wanna when you boil that chicken, you might wanna add in some carrots, celery, to flavor that broth as you're boiling that chicken. Some people use actually a whole chicken, but for me, I'm not making that much. I want it to be a very soupy dish, not overfilled with everything else. So we got our chicken in there. We're gonna just season it a little. And as we're letting that boil, I separated our eggs. So we're only using the yolk, so that's 8 yolks right there. And the egg whites, I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. I don't know, we can make some frittata or something. And I'm squeezing the lemon juice. So we're gonna need I'm gonna start off with 3/4 cups of lemon juice. If you're not that crazy about lemon, you might just start off with just half a cup. Now we're gonna be adding in our 3/4 cup of orzo. So for you that don't know, orzo it looks like rice grains, but it's actually a pasta. It has a nice soft texture. So we're gonna need about 3/4 cup of that. And then we're gonna cook it for about 8 to 10 minutes. We don't wanna overcook it because it's gonna get too mushy. So let's reduce the heat to medium low and just simmer it. And then we're gonna continue mixing our egg and lemon. As our orzo is cooking, we're gonna continue with our egg mixture. So we have our 8 egg yolks here, 3/4 cups of lemon juice. We just put it in. Just whisk it around. We're gonna add in some fresh dill. A touch of oregano. And if you're using pepper, I highly suggest using white pepper. So when you're eating the soup, it doesn't look dirty. But you know, it's up to you. For me, pepper is pepper, so it doesn't really matter. But some people, you know, since you're using a bright dish, might as well try to keep them all same color, because when you look at the pepper, it kind of looks like it's dirt on the soup. So next thing we're gonna do is add in our cornstarch. We're gonna be adding in about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Mix well, make sure there's no clumps. Okay, our orzo should be good. See, they're starting to plump. That's about good. So what we're gonna do is the most important part. So what happens if you put an egg on a hot dish? You know, it's gonna cook right away, right? It's gonna turn into like scrambled egg in your soup. So the trick here is to gradually heat up that egg. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna temper it, which means we're gonna add in a ladle of our hot soup into the egg mixture, mix it, and then after a couple of seconds, add in a fresh stock. You know, gradually until the temperature kind of reaches the same temperature as the broth. And then once they're all the same temperature, we can pretty much toss in the egg mixture into our soup. Because if you don't do that, if you don't gradually do that, it's gonna turn into like an egg drop soup on the soup. You're gonna have strands of eggs on it. So first we're gonna start off is add in 1 ladle of hot soup. Constantly stirring. This is the only hard part, is you gotta constantly stir it. And add another ladle. And then as you continue doing this, you're gonna notice that the egg mixture is slowly turning pale white. It's slowly getting cooked. So right now our egg mixture should be hot enough that we can toss it into our soup or into our pot. Now we're going to continue stirring it until smooth. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna taste it, see if it needs a little salt, pepper, or more lemon. Oh, that is heavenly. Again, if you're not that crazy about lemon, try to start with half a cup of lemon juice. But the key here is the lemon, that's the name. I think it's perfect. You can add in like chicken powder if you want, but the main flavor here is the lemon with that hint of the rotisserie chicken. That's why if you have rotisserie chicken, you can pretty much make any soup you want, saving you time, and you get the extra flavor from the rotisserie. Since I still have more than half of that rotisserie chicken, tomorrow I'm going to be making another Filipino soup called Chicken Mommy, which is a very mild chicken soup noodle dish. Very, very easy to make and very mild on flavor. So keep an eye out for that on the next few videos. So our soup is ready. Let's just turn off the heat and let's plate it. Avgolemono, a Greek lemon and chicken soup.